Teach me your plans. I'm yielding to your will. Your loving commitment will endow. Wish I knew what I know now. Wisdom is the principal thing. All this time just wasted thinking I own anything. Humility clothes me from the top of my head, soles of my feet, yeah. Teach me, teach me, show me the way. Hide my face from the wickedness of this world, I pray. Take my hand, protect my heart, hide me in the shadow of your wing. Like a child, see purity in my eyes. Allow me to sit at your feet. Hear me, hear me. Show me your ways, teach me your paths. I'm yielding to your will. Your loving commitment will endow me, surround me in my coming and my going. Cleanse me, purge me, I want to be white as snow, so I may testify of your love to those in search of you. Show me the way. You desire truth, the inward parts you make me know you. Take my hand, casting all my cares, refresh me with the waters of life. Like a child crying softly, forgive me. Allow me to approach your throne. Know me, yeah. Know me. Have mercy upon me, O Elohim, according to your loving kindness. According unto the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against you, you only, have I sinned, and done this evil in your sight, that you might be justified when you speak, and be clear when you judge. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you shall make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Elohim, and renew a right spirit within me.
Right. All praises to the Most High. Say Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat. Kwam, call, Banyam, Yesha, Allah. Yes, Israel, yes. We're living in a very good time, but perilous times. And times of the judgment of the heathens, man. All praises to the Most High. And I see everybody was putting out their statements, their declarations and everything. But we waited, first of all, to come out last to put out our statements and our declaration and what we see in the scriptures, what we analyze and what we understand, all right, of what's going on. Now, as we see the situation that's evolving in Israel between Hamas and Israel, it's a very touchy spark plug that's going to spark the rest of this war to the rest of the region. All right. And this situation would happen. That's why propaganda and the media is one of the strongest force of this enemy to promote their propaganda and their charm and their satanic propaganda to seduce and manipulate the minds of the people. All right. The state of Israel is a military state. Okay. It's run by the IDF, Shin Bet, the Mossad, and various intelligence military groups. The United States purposely develop, maintain, finances, gives Israel billions of dollars every year, non-stop for over 70-something years. And you mean to tell me, with all the technological advancement and intelligence that the Mossad is, they're the #1 intelligent in that area, okay? The British, the American has listening posts in Cyprus that intercept all communication links, whether it's on satellites, computers, phones. They monitor and control every intercept of chatter that goes down, okay? The British controls along with the American, the NSA, okay? The Mossad. Y'all should look at this movie. It was a movie on Netflix. It was showing you, I forgot what it was called. And it was showing you how the Israeli IDF, the military, and the different intelligence department, how they hunt down and put down Hamas and the Palestinians when they try to rise up, and how they surveillance Hamas. In Israel, the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, the Israeli IDF and the Mossad uses drone to surveillance Hamas and the Palestinians. Okay? That's why you had the mayor, that clown, went over to Israel 2 months ago to learn drone technology from the Israeli government. Okay? 2 months ago. And then he came back to Brooklyn and said, oh, we're going to use it for the Labor Day parade to monitor what's going on. Where he got that from? He got that when he went to Israel, because that's how Israel monitor and surveil Hamas and the Palestinians by drones. Anything that goes over that wall, if a bird crops on that wall, they know. The IDF, the Mossad, Shin Bet, everybody responds to that. So how the hell a group of Hamas militants just ran over the wall, just did what they did, had a field day for 6 hours? No aid, IDF, no Mossad, no Shin Bet, no Knesset, nobody responded? Give me a break. Then, you know what they told you? This is our 9/11. What they're implicating and telling you
what they're doing.
What they did. It was the same strategy that happened over here for 9/11. Right. That's what they're telling you. But the people are so gullible and ignorant and deceived because the media has a stronghold in your minds. Right. Okay? They're telling you that 9/11 was a false flag operation, just like this one that happened over there. It was a false flag operation to take down Hamas, Hezbollah, Lebanon, Syria, and eventually Iran. That's the plan. So this gives them the full capacity to go without any hindrance. Don't put no restraints, but you got the full green light by the United States.
That's right.
Okay, to do what they want to do.
That's right.
Why the hell the U.S. Gerald Ford is out there, based in the Middle East, on the coast of Israel? That's the biggest strong strike force, the U.S. Gerald Ford. 5,000 soldiers, all sorts of F-16s, aircrafts, tanks, striker force could strike from the Mediterranean to hit a precise target in Iran, okay, using guided missiles. It's a nuclear warship too. So the whole strategy is being set in play, all right, to give Israel a green light. And let me stress this point too. The underlying factor is this: the people that's in that land today are not the people of the Most High.
That's right.
They're not the people of the Bible. They're imposters, they're frauds, they're phonies, they're the synagogue of Satan. They're not the people of the Bible.
That's right.
And that's the underlying fact why there's all that problem in that land today. Number two, it's a geopolitical strategy by the United States of America to concrete and to hold on to the resources of the earth. Okay? Geopolitics is the control of the geography of the land, controlling the land that has natural resources that's going to benefit a nation. And eventually, this war is going to involve all nations in the earth.
That's right.
Because eventually, this war is going to cause a hyperinflation. Oil is going to be cut off to a standpoint. The price of oil is going up. The price of bread is going to go up. The price of everything is going to go up when this war really intensifies. When they strike Iran and they start a war with Iran, it's over. That's it. Right? So this was a well-planned strategy. You understand? Hamas doesn't have that intelligence to just run over the border and did what they did. Okay? That was an infiltration of also of the Mossad. Okay? The Israeli intelligence department. I want to show you something here too, because I want to go in this class by the grace of the Most High if they don't take this down. Okay, because I know they're going to monitor and watch it, but so be it. If they take it down, so be it. The word of the Most High, the prophecy is still going to go out. But I want to show you something. I want to read something to you in this book right here. Right? It's called Diplomacy by Deception. Okay? A very good book, Diplomacy by Deception, and the author that wrote this book is Dr. John Coleman. I have to give it to him. He's on the money. Okay, he did his research. And I also want to show this one here, The Conspirators' Hierarchy, the Committee of 300. All right? Now, in this book here, he shows you, because he did his homework. He's not no simple, just ignorant person. In the back of this book on 265, because I studied this book, I read this book, I analyzed it. Some things he has there, but the majority of what he has there is on point, and I have to give it to him. Now, he has on page 265, he has a Committee of 300, which is an umbrella of the Illuminati, okay? And what he shows you right here, okay? See the spot right here? Yeah, the map. Right. See right there, it says the Committee of 300, and he has where it's broken down to in the different segments. Then it's a spot there. Okay, that's good. He's going to show you, right? I'm going to read to you. Okay. And that's what it says here. It says the Committee of 300 All right? It's controlled by Zionism, communism, Fabianism, liberalism, socialism, and right-wing parties. It's also under the United Nations, okay? The kings of Saudi Arabia, the sheikhs of Arabia, Dubai, Kuwait, and the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Under it is the British intelligence, number one, all right? Then under British intelligence, you have Interpol, the CIA, Mossad, and other intelligence agencies. Then under that, over to that, he has the Rhodes Group, the Miller Group, the Round Table, terrorism, Freemasonry, and other secret societies, okay? So why is terrorism under their banner? Because they control all forms of terrorism.
That's right.
Hamas couldn't just, how did Hamas knew it would have been the perfect timing to go into Israel and do what they did, unless factions of Hamas is working with the Mossad.
That's right.
And the Mossad is controlling Hamas. Okay? There's no way that could happen. And then it took 6 hours for them to react. Mm-hmm. You're being played, people, just like 9/11. You're being played by the higher elites of this government that's bamboozling the minds of the people. And it's high time to awake out of sleep. Okay? So I got a lot to bring out, but I'm gonna go by step so I won't lose the focus and people don't lose understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying to you is a highly sophisticated, satanic, demonic move by the elites, by the United States. They're behind of this too. The British, okay, the European nations, okay, some of the Arab nations, okay, but mainly the so-called Jew, that imposter, that phony, that fraud,
that fake,
that imposter Jew, the synagogue of Satan. That's right. Okay, now a lot of reading here. Now, Brian, I want to read this here too. We'll start off with this here. All right, this was from the New York Post. I kept this here. Banyam, you kept that so long? Yes, this is 11 years. This is from November 27, 2012, the New York Post. All right? And now, Brian, we're going to read everything.
Okay.
I'm going to take our time. All right?
Yeah.
Showing you how the so-called imposter Jew, fraud, synagogue of Satan was put into the land of Israel. Okay? It was a deceptive plot to put these imposter so-called Jew, synagogue of Satan, in the land, to deceive the whole world, to make them believe that they are the people of the Most High, while at the same time they had us in subjugation, in slavery, and wiped out our remembrance as who we are, and had them promoted and uplifted in the land. And the Arabs were against this thing. The British was down with it too. The British was the one that enabled the whole thing to go down, because it was the British that set up the whole deal, using the Arabs, deceived the Arabs, to make them believe that they was fighting for their cause to get rid of the Ottoman Turkish Empire.
God.
But behind the scene, the British was going to bring in the imposter so-called Jew, fraud, synagogue of Satan in the land.
That's right.
And we're going to read about it. Start, Brian. Kick it off.
Where you want me to start? Over this way or just
start from the top, from where they start, the left-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classroom extra. It goes down and said Palestinians want to create their own state in land currently owned by Israel.
It's not owned by Israel. Let me get this here. It was owned by the Palestinians after we were kicked out. The Palestinians was there before the so-called imposter Jew,
that's right,
synagogue of Satan. Okay? He was never in the land. Okay?
Oh, my man.
All right. Go ahead, Brian.
Whose borders were created in 1948.
Right. The borders were created in 1948. It was partitioned by the United Nations to put them in the land of Israel. And this was the plot. This is where it thickens. Okay? And this is where that scripture comes in the book of of Daniel, where he said he shall seek to establish the vision. Okay? And they established that vision. But the scriptures say in the end, they're going to fall. Okay? Let me read that real quick in the book of Daniel. Right? Because they established that vision and setting up in the land of Israel as being the people of the Most High. That was the plan and the vision. Daniel. One second. Book of Daniel. Daniel, the 8th chapter. Not the 8th chapter, sorry. Daniel 11 and 14.
Read out the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 14. And in those times there shall many stand up against the king of the south.
Okay, so this is going back, and it's going to jump to the present. Okay, the king of the south was the king of Egypt with the Ptolemies. So it's going back to that point, and it's bringing it up to the modern day perspective. Go ahead.
Also the robbers of thy people shall exalt themselves.
Not too fast, lad, Brian. See what it says?
Also the robbers of thy people.
See, who are the robbers of thy people? The so-called impostor Jew, the synagogue of Satan. Go ahead.
Shall exalt themselves.
Shall exalt themselves in 1948 when they was given that permission by the British Mandate, the United Nations, and the United States of America. Go ahead.
To establish the vision.
To establish the vision. What was the vision? To establish Israel as a state for the returning, what they call Jews. But they're not Jews. They're imposters. They're the synagogue of Satan. Go ahead.
But they shall fail. But they shall fall.
And they're going to fall in this aftermath. Okay? This is the last go around for them. Okay? Now, also, too, lose that. I'm going to go back to what we was reading the post. Right?
All right.
And start off from the paragraph on your left-hand side, the full entire paragraph.
Okay, the full, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
The United Nations partitions Palestine.
See, the United Nations, another branch of the European powers. See, so you see who's all in collaboration with this conspiracy? All of the European nations. That's why the Most High said they have conspired against his people to cut us off from being a nation. That's why when the Most High bring the judgment, all of them is going down.
That's right.
And anybody that's feeling sorry and talking trash like that clown, Amari Stoudemire, you're going to be wiped out. He got the nerves to say that why Black Lives Matter is not speaking about of what happened to Israel. Negro, shut up and sit down, you damn clown. Like General Yohana said, you're a clown, and you are a clown. I don't have no sympathy for you. You're a clown. Okay, go ahead.
This is Tuesday, November 27th, 2012, New York Post. This month, a renewed round of fighting between Israel and the Palestinians has once again brought the Middle East to the brink of war.
Right, and this time, this one is going to bring you to the brink of war. This is the final one. Okay, go ahead.
This conflict is a dispute between the state of Israel and land that might become a future independent state of Palestine, and what the borders between the two nations would be. This dispute began 75 years ago today.
See? 75 years ago today. That's when that dispute began. When the United Nations, the British Mandate, and the so-called phony Balfour Declaration that was forged, that put them in the land of Israel. Let me read this. Hold up, Ron. Stay right there, brother.
All right.
Let me read this here about the Balfour Declaration. Okay? Because the Balfour Declaration was a forged document. Okay? Set up by the Committee of 300. Right? Let me read to you what was the Balfour Declaration. Okay, this is Diplomacy by Deception and page 102. Right? Let me read this here to you. Now, let us return now to the Balfour Declaration, a remarkable document in the sense that it was neither drafted nor signed by British Prime Minister Arthur Balfour. He didn't sign it. Okay? He had no inkling about that. Okay? But by Lord Rothschild. Rothschild was the one that signed the document. Amalek, to put these imposter, phony, fraud, so-called Jew synagogue of Satan in the land. Okay? As head of the British branch of the World Zionist Federation, Britain promised land in Palestine to so-called Jews that really belonged to the Arabs. In breach of the pledge to Sharif Hussein, a solemn promise made to Colin Lawrence by General Allenby. Okay? What is more striking is that although Lord Rothschild was not a member of the British government, his proposal for Palestine were accepted by the League of Nations on April 12, 1920. Because Rothschild is a member of this Committee of 300 family. Right. Of what you call the Illuminati. So what he says and does, nobody goes against it. Okay? Now continue reading that, Brian.
This dispute began 75 years ago today when the United Nations voted to partition the British Mandate of Palestine between the Jews and the Arabs. Thousands of years ago, in the part of the world we now refer to as the Nation of Israel, and the Palestinian territory, as well as the Holy Land. Okay, let me say this here too. Now, the word Palestine comes from the word Philistines. Right. Okay? But the Palestinians are not the ancient Philistines. Right, they're not even Ham. Okay? These Palestinians are what you call European, Ottoman, Turkish, Arab babies. Right. Okay? That came into the land afterwards. The true Philistines are not there in the land. The Philistines were what you call African people from the sons of Ham. Okay? These are not the true Philistines, but they took on the name of the people of the Philistines and call themselves Palestinians because they're living in the same land area and geographical area of the ancient Philistines. So now they're going to catch it too. All right? Go ahead. The history of the Jewish people began with a man named Abraham. That's right. It started with Abraham, our father. All right, go ahead. And his son Isaac. The Israelites, ancestors of today's Jews, lived in what was then called Canaan until a food shortage
Stop right there. So you see all the names. Palestine, Canaan, these are all African names that came from the sons of Ham. Canaan came from the name of the sons of Canaan, which are all Hamitic people, what you call Ham. In Hebrew, it's Cham, which are African nations today. Okay, go ahead.
Today, ancestors of today's Jews lived in what was then called Canaan until a, excuse me, until a food shortage forced them from the land. Later generations of Israelites were enslaved by the Egyptians until they were led out of bondage by Moses.
So he's going back to give you a brief history to show who the Israelites are. But he's painting the picture that the impostor, so-called Jew, the fraud, the synagogue of Satan, that they are the Jews, and they're not. That's the wrong picture he's painting. Continue.
According to the Bible, eventually returning to Canaan, where the ancient Israelites established a Jewish kingdom. During the course of more than 2,500 years, the ancestral homeland of the Jews was dominated by the great empires of the Assyrians, the Babylonians, Greeks, Romans, and eventually the Turks.
Right, so these are all the nations that enslaved us while we were in the land as the true Israelites. It started with the Assyrians. Then it worked its way all the way down to the Romans. Then eventually the Ottoman Turkish Empire came in. And this is where a lot of the so-called Arabs, okay, When the Ottoman Turkish Empire came into the land, they mixed their seed amongst some of the true Arabs.
Right.
Okay? And this is what you have today, the offspring of those Palestinians today. And some of the Arabs that's in the land came out from the Ottoman Turkish Empire. Continue.
During the time of the New Testament, the kingdom of Israel was under Roman domination.
And that's a fact. It was under Roman domination. Continue.
And in the year 70 AD, I'll put, the Romans killed more than 1 million Jews.
That's right. And that's a fact. That's true. And that 1 million Jews or true Israelites fled where? Into Africa. They didn't go up to Europe. They fled down to Africa. That's the part that they omitted.
Right.
Okay? Now, if you're a reporter for the Washington Post, you have inside facts and history to world history. But that's the part they omitted. Continue.
And enslaved and banished many others from the land they called Palestine. The Jews became a people without a true homeland.
And up to date, we don't have no homeland. The true Israelites don't have a homeland today. Continue.
Despite 18 centuries of living in other parts of the world, the Jewish people always hoped to return to Zion, the Holy Land, and to reestablish a Jewish homeland there. Following the First World War, 1914 to 1918, the League of Nations created the British Mandate.
See, it says in 1914, the League of Nations, that's when it was called, then eventually it was called the United Nations. The League of Nations created that along with the British. Go ahead.
For Palestine in 1922, the British, backed by many other nations, including the United States.
Including the United States. So that's why the Most High tells you in the book of Joel, he's going to bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And he's going to plead with them there for his people. So this war that's going to eventually bloom and blossom into an all-out war is for our liberation.
That's right.
And our freedom, and the Most High bringing his judgment and his vengeance upon all the nations that had a hand in destroying us.
That's right.
So we should rejoice to see that the Most High is going to bring his vengeance and his judgment upon our enemies for what they did to us.
That's right.
And none of us should be up there talking about we're going to fight for this country for that war. We should reject and say, hell no, we won't go. We're not going to fight. Okay? The hell with that. That's their thing. Let them fight their war. That's the war between them. That has nothing to do with us. That war is our freedom and our ticket and our deliverance and our liberation out of this hell. To bring down this American devil, this modern day Roman Empire. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. I'm so glad it's going down. Everything is going according to the Most High plans.
That's right.
Nothing goes out of the Most High plans. Okay? All this is the Most High plan. You understand? But these rulers that's ruling the earth, they have an inside understanding through Satan how to set this thing off.
Right.
And Satan gives them the insight in how to strategically and methodically set up this operation. Okay? So this whole operation was methodically set up by the rulers under the disguise of Satan. Okay? Remember, the Mossad, all these groups are under the same banner, working together. The Mossad works directly with the CIA in all their doings that they're doing. Okay? The CIA doesn't hide no secrets from the Mossad, and the Mossad doesn't hide secrets from the Mossad. They work together once it comes to Israel to keep that so-called state strong and powerful. Okay? What's the first thing Biden said? Our support for Israel is unwavering.
Right.
That's the first thing he got up there talking about. We will support Israel. Right away, battleship was sent over there. How the battleship got there so quick? It was already planned out. Where was that battleship that it got there so quick? Off the coast of Israel. It takes at least, if your battleship is leaving America to go to Israel, it's going to take at least 2 weeks to get there. Okay? It can't get there overnight. The only way it could get there overnight, unless that battleship is stationed in Europe. Okay? But if you leave it from America, that battleship can't get there in 1 day or 2 days. It's impossible. Yes. Democracy in that area. Right. Right. So Israel is their strongest, staunch support ally. They're going to go down all the way with Israel, no matter what. There's no wavering. Okay? They will back Israel, finance Israel, give Israel military supplies. Israel gets all the military supplies yearly from this country.
Right.
So why are you still sending more military supplies to back them? Because it's an agenda that eventually is to attack Syria, Hezbollah, and Iran. So you got your battleship positioned strategically in those areas. Okay? I'm going to read to you about that too. That's in the prophecies too. Let's go to the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. The Most High tells you. Everything is in here in the scriptures. I'm going to come back to that, Lord Brian.
All right.
Let's go to the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. Joel 2 and the 20th verse. Now, this prophecy is twofold too. It refers also to when Nebuchadnezzar came against us at that time. Remember, prophecies are also dual.
Right.
It has double, sometimes triple understanding to it. Not just one particular understanding. So this prophecy in itself here has a dual meaning. All right? So Joel, the 2nd chapter and the 20th verse.
Read out Joel chapter 2, verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea.
See what it says? With his face toward the east sea. What is the east sea? A lot of people say the east sea represents the sea facing towards China. But not in this instance right here. Okay? Go ahead.
And his hinder parts towards the utmost sea.
And the utmost sea is the Persian Gulf area. That's why they sent the U.S. Gerald Ford to where? Off the coast of Israel. Okay? To protect Israel when the war intensifies with Iran and Hezbollah. Okay, go ahead.
And his stink shall come up.
And his stink is going to come because the Most High is going to judge them over there. Go ahead.
And his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things.
Great things mean the evil that he has done. Okay, now let's go back to reading that paragraph. Okay, because what I'm building up to show you, I'm going to go in the scripture and show you how they was put in the land and how this great deceptive and diabolical plot by the European powers, by America, by British, to put these people in the land and to support the lie. All throughout history, in the colleges, in the universities, and worldwide. They promote this agenda to keep this lie going. But the Most High is going to bust that bubble. That's the reason why the Most High is doing it, to disclose and bring an end to all the lies that have been taught for centuries. Continue.
The British, backed by many other nations, including the United States.
See, including the United States. Go ahead.
Supported the establishment of an independent Jewish state there.
And that's what America and Britain did. They supported a so-called, well, it is an independent state because it's independent by the permission of Britain and the United States. Okay? Israel is a military state. Every citizen have a right to have a firearm. Okay? They have a right to have that firearm to protect them against what they call the Arab enemies. Then you saw Netanyahu, you saw his speech. They have to be destroyed out of civilization. But he knew that was coming. He's part of it. Netanyahu is over all the intelligence department of Israel. He has the intel, he has the inside information. They're all part of it. Go ahead.
The movement for the Jewish people to have their own homeland and country became most urgent during the following World War II, following World War II.
Right after America so-called liberated Germany, they won the one World War II, and made America a superpower in the earth, a superpower, and everybody backed off. The mighty America, and they showed their power when they dropped that bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And the only reason why they did that, well, actually, it's two reasons. One, they could not have beaten the Japanese. The Japanese was giving them pure hell, man. So they said, why the hell the Japanese won't surrender? Because the Japanese won't surrender. They said, you know what? It's only one thing that's going to make them surrender. When we drop this bomb on them, they will surrender. And to show you how evil America is, right? They always talking about how somebody is evil, right? Mm-hmm. Where did America drop that bomb? And who? Who did they drop it? Did they drop it on the military personnel, military bases? Civilians. No, they dropped that bomb on the civilian population. So who is the biggest friggin' terrorist? Who are the true terrorists? And the reason why they did that, because that creates a psychological warfare of fear. When you drop that bomb on the civilian population, it will create a fear that you got to surrender. You got to surrender when you drop that bomb on the civilian population. And that's what they did. And not only one bomb, but two friggin' bombs. Okay? They drop on the civilian population. But then they will tell you, we want war, we want war. But you drop it on the civilian population. So is Hamas wrong? No, but they'll tell you Hamas is an evil beast. Look what Hamas did. Okay? Boy, it's so hypocritical, man. If you don't have a mind of your own, the media will mold you and control you to believe their BS. Go ahead, Yahweh. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Nobody control it. And that's why Israel have the same mentality. It's called the Samson option. Mm-hmm. If we're going down, everybody's going down with us. And that's on their table, the Samson option with that bomb. Because Israel have nuclear weapons. Since the early 60s, they had nuclear weapons. They're the only nation in the Middle East that has nuclear weapons. And it was given to them by America. Okay? They armed to the teeth, baby. They armed. And they use the fact that Hamas, the Palestinian, is a threat to them. Hamas is not a threat to Israel. They could wipe out Hamas and any of those groups overnight. Okay? And that's what they're doing now. They're leveling the Gaza Strip now. Okay? Like they said, they're going to turn it into a parking lot. They're going to level that place. Buildings are done. Okay? They're unleashing everything they got. They're even using white phosphorus. Okay? And they're not supposed, that's illegal. Everybody know what white phosphorus does? It sticks to your skin and burns through your bones. Okay? That's something like what they use in Agent Orange.
Yeah, napalm.
Okay? Like napalm. And that's worse than napalm. Okay? That thing burns through your skin, man. It burns through your bones, man. That white phosphorus. Okay? So they're going on an all-out genocidal campaign. And they're going to have the green light to do it. They're going to have the green light. Go ahead, do what you have to do. Because you are attacked by a bunch of evil, savage beasts. These people are very clever in their operations, man. Well calculated. They planned the whole thing. This is a false flag operation, man. Okay? And they're going to wipe out that whole Gaza Strip. There could be more land for the so-called Israelis, but it's going to create a problem. It's going to create a problem. But the whole agenda is to go to war against Hezbollah, Syria, and Iran. That's the whole agenda. Go ahead, LeBron.
When Adolf Hitler and the Nazis murdered 6 million Jews.
All right, that number is skeptical, okay? I don't believe that, but I'm going to go along with what they're saying for now. Go ahead.
1/3 of the world's Jewish population. The Arabs, who had lived in much of the land during the Jews' long absence, did not welcome the increase in Jewish immigration into Palestine.
Right. The Arabs didn't allow it. Because the Arabs said, we here, how you just going to come in and push us out the land? And that's what they've been doing ever since 1948, up until this day. Right. They've been pushing out the Palestinians. Let me tell you something. The Palestinians have no rights. No friggin' human rights. They're treated like a bunch of hyenas. Okay? Because they don't treat dogs like that. Dogs get good treatment. They're treated like hyenas. Okay? To come in and out of the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, is military checkpoints. The water, the electricity is controlled by Israel. They cut off the water supply, and the water supply is the worst water supply. The electricity is controlled by them. Their jobs, their food, everything is controlled by the Israeli government. Okay? So that's a big damn lie that Hamas just ran over the border and did what they did. It's checkpoints in every point.
That's right.
Military checkpoints. Even when we went there to Jordan, you saw the military and the border with the checkpoints. When we was going up to an area up north in Israel, we had to go through the checkpoints. Okay? The military was there. And the military stand guards 24/7, man. So don't believe that lie they told you. Hamas surprisingly attacked. If that's the case, that shows incompetence. And it also shows that somebody messed up, or it was deliberately done for a hidden agenda. Okay? Understand? There's no way that could happen.
That's right.
Israel has the top-notch #1 intelligence surveillance. Their intelligence is just as good or even better than the CIA. Yes. They got the Iron Dome, everything, man. Surveillance, okay? Military, the IDF, Shin Bet, and all these different groups that's on the border, on the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, Northern Israel, okay? It's a military state. Come on, man. You mean to tell me they just fell asleep and just la 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 la? No. And you gotta remember too, Israel was about to make peace with Saudi Arabia. What was the purpose of them making peace with Saudi Arabia? To continue the oil flow to Israel. Because Israel does not have no oil fields. Where do they get their supply of oil from? Saudi Arabia. So now, with this now, it's going to cut them off from getting that oil from Saudi Arabia. All right? Now, how did Hamas knew that? How did Hamas knew how to invade? Because all those, what they call so-called terrorist group, are working for one top ruling party, the Illuminati. There's always chatter on cell phones, computers, that something is about to go down. And Egypt told Israel this was going to go down. But they just turned a blind eye. You understand? Over in Cyprus, which is not far from Israel in that area, they have listening outposts that monitors phones, computers, and any kind of chatter. So if the Arabs talking, hello, because the Israelis speak Arabic too. The Mossad speak Arabic too. They learn Arabic for that reason too. Most Israeli citizens know Arabic to know what the Arabs are planning and what they're going to do against them. Right. And Mossad has infiltrated the Palestinian and Hamas. Okay? And some of the people of Hamas work for the Mossad because when they put them in jail and arrest them, they say, we give you a choice. Either you spend your rest of your life in jail to be tortured, or you work for us. You know some of them is going to do it. Some of them are going to do it. Some say, hell no, we'll die. And they're tortured, they're beaten, starved, and some are forced to submission to become Israeli Mossad informants. And there's always chatter on the phone. That's why they gave everybody cell phones all throughout those regions. Every cell phone is monitored and tracked. Okay? Let me read it to you, because a lot of people are so friggin' ignorant, man. It's amazing how people are so ignorant. Let me read this to you, right? Because this guy in this book, he brought it out too. All right. Let me read this part here to you. Right. Notes on surveillance. This is on page 237. Okay. The United States and Britain work very closely to spy on their citizens and on foreign governments. Okay? This applies to all traffic, commercial, diplomatic, and private communications. You know what I mean? Diplomatic? They even spy and listen on their diplomats. Okay? They bug, they're monitoring, it's surveillance. All right? And they have the double agents too, but all of those areas are monitored and bugged with surveillance equipment, high-tech surveillance monitoring equipment. All right? It says commercial, diplomatic, and private communications. Nothing is sacred, and nothing is beyond the reach of the National Security Agency, the NSA. Some people never heard of. Huh? What's that, brother? That's a group that's above the CIA that you don't hear about. Okay? It says the NSA and the Government Communication Headquarters, who are in joint partnership to illegally monitor telephone, telex, fax, computer, and voice transmission on a massive scale. Okay? And they have a headquarters in England and in Cyprus. And it was set up to monitor every chatter that goes down with the Arab nations. So the Mossad has that intelligence and surveillance too, to monitor Hamas when they're making strategic and methodical moves against Israel. So don't fall for that crap that the Mossad, Shin Bet, the IDF didn't know. It said it took them 6 to 7 hours before they responded. So where was the military? The military is always there.
Bang.
People are being suckered and played all the time, just like America. Oh, this caught us by surprise. Where was NORAD to shoot down those planes when it happened? NORAD was told to sit back, don't do nothing, and that order came from Cheney. Okay? We're going to realize we're dealing with some evil, diabolical people, man, and they have an agenda. Okay? So I'm going to read, I just read that part, but it's more to it. I just want to show you that they monitor every transmission of communication, whether it's private, commercial, diplomatic. They're listening to it. So that's why Trump was able to call Zelensky. Remember, Trump called Zelensky and said, I want you to give me every information you have with Biden, what he was doing over in Ukraine. Y'all forgot about that, right? Trump called Zelensky and told him, I want you to give me every information you got with Biden, because they have their listening devices in those areas. Every diplomat is monitored and surveillance. Okay? And your communication device. How you think on October 4th, everybody received what? What did you receive on October 4th? An emergency broadcasting message. Why? Because every phone is controlled by them. You understand? This is a national emergency broadcast. If this was an emergency, you would be given further information what to do. The television, the news, the radio, everything. And this is not a test. If this was an actual state of emergency, blah, 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 we tell you what you do. So all that is controlled by them, okay? And they said that emergency broadcast didn't only go for America, it went to other nations around the world too, okay? So they was planning to see how it's gonna go down. Don't be gullible and naive to think they don't know what they're doing. Yes. Yes, there's frequency that controls you too, yes. Because the cell phone has frequency, electromagnetic frequencies, radio waves, right? They could program a man to be a killer. And he didn't even know why he did it, because he's controlled by radio frequencies to directly target his mind and program him. Okay, they call it, what's the term they use? No, they could call that type of person a Manchurian candidate, a Manchurian. Okay, so everything is rigged and controlled to the system. That's called the beast system. It controls everything. All right. Yeah, Brian, you got something?
No.
Yeah, Judah. Mm. Right. 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 Mm-hmm. And that's what he tells you right in here. He tells you that, I'm not sure. Let me read it. It's amazing. This part here, I'm on page 144. It says, Iran has an old score to settle with British and American intelligence that dates back to 1941 and 1951, when gross covert actions were carried out against Iraq by MI6 and the CIA to bring about the fall of Dr. Mohammed Mossadegh. Although it properly belongs in this chapter, the account of how Atkinson, Rockefeller, Roosevelt, and Truman subverted Iran is to be found in the chapter about Rockefeller's oil dealings in the Middle East. So you know Rockefeller, he's the man that controls the oil controlling in the Middle East. Even though the Saudi Arabia is over it, it's all ran by the big Illuminati companies. And Rockefeller was the first one to establish the oil production in the Middle East.
Right.
Okay? The CIA and MI6 had a second go around with Iran when the Shah began to dig his heels in against barefaced robbery by American and British oil companies with concessions in Iran. Okay, and you just saw just the other day to show how Biden and the Secretary of State said they just gave back Iran $6 billion. This was the money that they froze from Iran accounts. So they're saying that money that Iran had was used to fund the terrorist act with Hamas. All right, but that's a lie. Okay. The petroleum companies that entered into a conspiracy with President Carter and a carbon copy of the Mossadegh operation was launched. 60 CIA and 10 MI6 agents were dispatched to Tehran to undermine the Shah and bring about his downfall and subsequent murder. All right, but let me jump into the real fact. Two of the biggest and most comprehensive listening posts in the world are located in England and Cuba. So that's why America doesn't want to give up Guantanamo Bay. That's a strategic military logistic listening post in Guantanamo Bay. Okay? Guantanamo Bay has a listening post. Okay? Two of the biggest and most comprehensive listening posts in the world are located in England and Cuba. Government Communication Headquarters, GCHQ, in Cheltenham, England, is probably one of the worst offenders when it comes to snooping. Although the U.S. Constitution forbids snooping on its citizens, the National Security Agency, NSA, meshes tightly with GCHQ and deceives the people of both nations in their ongoing overall surveillance operations. The U.S. Congress is either unaware of what is going on, unthinkable, or else very possibly too intimidated to put a stop to such illegal acts which occur every day at the NSA. Okay? And also, too, in Cyprus, they have also another listening outpost. So let me go back real quick to 235, and I'm going to go back to what Laban was reading, and we go into the scriptures. But I just want to show those points so people get an understanding of that wasn't just Hamas just went over there and just did what they did. It was more than that. Okay? Let me just finish reading now. Okay, it says here, okay, so it says, the GCHQ, the NSA computers look for trigger words which are flagged and stored. Trigger words, certain trigger words they look for that every group uses, okay? And every trigger word that's used is flagged and it's linked and programmed to the computer. And they follow up on it, okay? So it says, look for trigger words that are flagged and stored. This is a simple procedure given the fact that all communications come through as digital pulses. This applies to the written and spoken word alike. Then the flagged messages are analyzed. And if there's anything that interests these agencies, further investigations are launched. The fact that the entire operation is illegal does not stop either agency from their self-appointed tasks. So when Hamas was communicating to the rest of Hamas what they was going to do, that was all picked up and flagged in the Mossad and the IDF computers. And they was listening and monitoring to it too. But they was given orders to step down.
Right.
Let it go down. Step back. Don't act. This is our justification to launch our offensive war. It's all strategy.
And Ben, you know how you know that's so right? Because even when you watch these movies, the spy movies, one of the guys told in like Clear and Present Danger or other movie said, yeah, because it's always chatter on the back.
There's always chatter, talking.
Always
even
chatter.
In the streets.
Yeah.
People talk. Yo, you saw what T did? He raided that drug house. It's always talk.
Always talk.
People, it's always talk. It's always chatter. That's why when the cops come to do investigation or the drugs, the eradication squad, they hit the streets. They say, you got to know. Somebody got to know what went down. You can't tell me you don't know. They hit certain spots, drug spots, and they say, somebody got to talk. Somebody knows, because it's always chatter. You're talking, and it picks up. Notice every time, every gang or group in New York, when they do something, they post it on Facebook. They post their guns, what they did. Yeah, that's what we did. They post their information on the mass media. You understand? Go ahead. Yeah, Judah. From the direction it came from. Understand?
On your phone. Gun.
Yeah.
Kill. Terrorists.
Right.
Like you said, you know,
They're coming for you. If you say, Richard, we're gonna do the president in. Before you know it, man, they're coming at your door. We heard you made remarks against the president. You understand? So that's another damn lie that some unknown spooky boogeyman assassinated the president. You got, man, people have been bamboozled in this country so bad, man. You understand? It's amazing. But the media has satanic manipulating control powers over the minds of the people. Okay? So finish reading that, Brian.
Okay. The Arabs who had lived in much of the land during the Jews' long absence did not welcome the increase in Jewish immigration into Palestine.
Right. They didn't want it. Go ahead.
The territory was home to Arab Muslims who called the land Palestine and did not want to give up territory. Britain was not able to resolve the conflict between the Jews and the Arabs and referred the matter to the United Nations. On November 29, 1947, the UN voted to split the territory between Jewish and Arab populations.
So you see who's all involved in this. It's a world conspiracy of these powers to enable evil. Okay? They allow and support that evil. Okay, go ahead.
The UN partition plan provided for Britain to completely withdraw from Palestine and for the establishment of a Jewish and Arab state in the territory.
All right. So this was the movement now to set up the so-called Jews in the land. And they didn't give a damn about the Palestinian or Arabs, the outcome of it. Okay? It was going to be a bloody state from that point on. Every Palestinian, every Arab, is going to catch their royal behind. That they established, to establish the state of Israel with a so-called Jewish state. And that's what they did. They established that vision, but not as being the true Israelites in the land. They established as being phony, fake, fraud, imposter, synagogue of Satan. Go ahead.
The plan established borders and called for the protection of religious and minority rights and an economic union of the two territories.
That's a damn lie, because it didn't provide no economics for the Palestinian. It was one-sided. It has always been one-sided, lopsided. Everything goes for Israel. All the aid, everything goes to Israel, and the Palestinians get what? You get the, not even the scraps. Okay? So that's a lie. Go ahead.
The plan was accepted by the Jews, but rejected by the entire Arab world.
Right, because they knew it wasn't going to be that way. They said, no, hell no. They rejected everything that they came because it was not going to work in their favor. Go ahead.
Which claimed all of Palestine and rejected Jewish claims to the land. On May 14th, 1948, Israel declared its independence as a sovereign nation.
And that's when they said, May 14, 1948. That's when it became a state. That's when they established that vision. Go ahead.
As giving the Jewish people their first sovereign nation in more than 1900 years. However, the day after Israel declared its independence.
Now listen good to this now. The day after they established their independence. Now, if they're the people of the Most High, the Jews went back to Israel, it should have been peace. Everybody should have been at peace with them. But read what it says, Labrahim.
The many Arab nations invaded, touching off a religious and political conflict that endures today.
See, as soon as they established it as a state, it was war. But see, the people in the churches, the evangelists, the historians, don't relate it to the scriptures. They always want to say, God said, support the Jewish state. Love Israel. Pray for Israel. Yes.
Because I just want to say real quick, Nasser Hasir, he was the Egyptian president back then. He said, it's a funny thing. The Jews left black.
No, Abdel Nasser.
Abdel Nasser.
Yeah.
The Jews left black and came back white. There'll never be no peace in the Middle East.
And right before he said that, when he said that after, it was a couple of years when it became a state, it's still the same thing. And he said,
but they assassinated him.
Yeah, they assassinated him because he wasn't supposed to say that.
Right.
Understand? But it was the fact. And right after they became a state, it'd been war. But what is that showing you? If they were the people according to the Bible, it should have been no war in Israel from that day up until this day. It should have been peace. But every friggin' line, evangelical, Bible thumpers, right-wingers, they all promote that lie that nobody wants to have peace with Israel. No. When Israel gets there, they ain't going to have no chance but to be at peace with Israel.
That's right.
But that's showing you they're not the people of the Most High, and they're not the true Israelites. Because the Most High said, when the children of Israel go back home, the world will not learn war
no more.
anymore. I got to read that scripture too. Let's go to that. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Micah, the 4th chapter.
Micah.
All right? So this is the biggest lie that these evangelicals and these church leaders and all these people, they're not doing that. They're promoting lies and teaching lies. All right? Micah, the 4th chapter. Micah 4, and start from the first verse. Micah 4 and 1.
We read the book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountains.
That's going to be the top government upon the face of the earth. Go ahead.
And it shall be exalted above all the hills.
And it's going to be exalted above all the smaller governments. Go ahead.
And people shall flow unto it.
And people is going to flow into it. Nobody flowing to Israel like that.
flow
Nobody
away.
flowing to Israel for no peace and love and harmony. They running now.
That's right.
They trying to get out of Dodge, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 2. And many nations shall come and say, Come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, and to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
Are these so-called imposter Jew synagogue Satan doing that? They're not doing that. Nobody's going to learn the ways of the Most High. So these are some of the points to show that they are not the people of the Most High in the land. Because if there was, this would have been fulfilled already. Go ahead.
And we shall walk in his paths, for the Lord shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem.
And that's not happening. Go ahead.
And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
Is that happening? No, nations are beating their plowshares into nuclear weapons.
That's right.
And into rockets. Okay, go ahead.
And their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
So this right there proves the Bible is on point. And this also proves that somebody in the world is lying. Somebody is not telling the truth. Somebody is a phony and an imposter perpetrating a fraud. That's what this is showing right here. Okay? So go back, finish reading that paragraph in the paper, Allah Brian.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. However, the day after Israel declared its independence, the many Arab nations invaded, touching off a religious and political conflict that endures today.
Mm-hmm.
The United Nations partition plan for two coexisting states was never implemented.
Mm-hmm.
That's it on that.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. So all of this,
That's cool.
in a nutshell, is to establish and to keep white supremacy
That's right.
in the earth. That's all this is about. It's about the white Europeans keeping their rulership in the earth. And now they're about to lose it. They're about to lose it. That's what's happening now. Okay? They're about to lose their rulership in the earth. Okay? And they're trying their best to hold on to it. Now, in the process of this here now, because this is not going to end now.
No.
This will never end now. What just happened now, the onslaught of those Palestinians over there in the land, you could forget it. You could, I don't care what Israel try to do, it's never going to be no peace over there now.
That's right.
Never going to be no peace. Never. And the Arab nations see this as what? An encroachment on Islam.
Mm-hmm.
They see it as a war against Islam.
Holy war.
Okay? And this, man,
Jihad.
this thing is going to blow up, man. It's so beautiful the way it's going, man. And the Most High is going to pull it off strategically. Because, yeah, he's going to show up. Because strategically, America needs that oil. Oil. Okay? And if that oil stops, it's cut off. If Iran block the Strait of Hormuz. That's it. It's on. And Saudi Arabia, they ain't gonna have no choice. They said, you know what? We're not gonna give you no oil. Because Qatar already said if they continue the bombing, they're not gonna sell no oil to the other nations. So it's gonna be a trickle-down effect. It's gonna create inflation. It's gonna create a world of hell. Okay? And in that moment that all these things gonna happen, he's gonna really impose and bring in the mark of the beast system. Okay? He's gonna force people to get that mark of the beast because he's gonna force to use a digital currency because the US dollar is gonna be worthwhile. It's not gonna worth nothing eventually. In the time of inflation, your dollar doesn't mean nothing. Okay? If you have a dollar, it's going to worth at least $55 in the BRICS money.
That's right.
It's going to happen because the BRICS nations, right now, Russia, they're laughing. China, they're laughing because they're saying, go ahead, America, you're spreading yourself thin. And I guarantee you, now is a chance for Russia to lay the smackdown on Ukraine and finish off Ukraine. Okay? Because America is concentrating. They got to protect Israel. And then while America is protecting Israel, China is going to launch an invasion in Taiwan. Because what does Taiwan make?
Chips.
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 Chips is needed for every form of technology today. Okay? That's a high commodity. And China needs it. America needs it. And if China could get in and take down Taiwan, they could control that. Because everything now is going to be based on what? AI technology. Artificial intelligence. Okay? That's the state that they're moving into. This here is going to be a technological, economical, political, geopolitical. This war is going to be all of this. Because it's about fighting for the control of the resources of the earth.
Okay.
That's what it's boiling down to. Russia is jockeying for position. China is jockeying for position. Israel is jockeying for position. America is jockeying for position. The European nations are jockeying for position. And everybody is jockeying to get position. That's why the BRICS nation was formed. To detach themselves from the American, Western, European powers. To knock them out and create their own currency system. Okay? And it's coming into play, man. And the Most High got it played out. So the Most High said he's going to drag them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. The Most High is
drag them in there.
Give it to the Most High, man. Give it to the Most High. Because the Most High know they all need that resource to keep their kingdom running.
That's right.
And the Most High said, I know what you devils need. So I'm going to drag you right into the valley of Jehoshaphat. The hooks is being put in there, man. The Most High is a massive chess player. They think they can outwit the Most High. You understand? Yeah, how it up? He's so great, man.
Great challenge.
Yeah. And guess what? The Most High is doing this for us.
Israel.
For us. He's doing it for us.
That's right.
That's what he's doing for us, to bring about our liberation and our freedom. And it's so beautiful, man. That's why the Most High said, wait ye upon me till I rise up to the prey. Because the Most High is the master genius, man. He's the master tactician of all wars. Understand? And America is going to be down in this thing, man. And a lot of the people in Trinidad are going to be crying very soon. They're going to be crying, man. Matati said when he was there, you could see the Israeli boy. He was crying like a baby, man. They had to call to him, listen, man, go fight for your country. Go fight for Israel, man. He was crying. He was scared, man, because they know they're going to die. They're going to die. It's going to be an all-out bloody. This ain't going to be beautiful, man. I'm telling you, man. Right now, people over here just nonchalant. Give it a couple more months. Everybody going to start to really like, wait a minute. Hey, Israelites, what is the Bible saying? Then they come in looking for us. Oh, Israelites, what does the scripture say? No, go to your friggin' preacher. Go to that lying preacher and ask him.
Pork chop sandwich.
Go to that pork chop preacher. They're not going to go to, and they're going to come, after a while, they're going to come, yo, Israelites, what the Bible say, what's going to happen? But the Most High is going to kill a lot of our people too. Okay? Because they didn't want to hear the words. They want to be involved and down with this bull crap. So when the time comes on, they try to run and come and look for answers. The Most High says it's going to be a famine of the word. Understand? So we have to hold fast and hold on to this here. So let's go into our scriptures now. All right? Because, man, I'm telling you, it's coming down, bro. It's in. You know what I'm saying? And everything ties in so perfectly well. America, and I always taught this and I'm going to keep teaching it. America is the modern day Roman Empire all over again.
That's right.
Every major empire have ruled this earth for 250 years. And after that 250 years, that empire goes down. And America is in decline. Okay? America became an independent, sovereign nation in 1776. In the year 2026 will make America 250 years as a reigning empire. Okay? And I gotta bring that out. I must bring it out. Because even England as an empire fell after 250 years. All major empires that rule the world, after 250 years, it came to an end. And I got to bring it up again, all right? Because some people might say that's a joke, but it ties right into our 400 years, man. Okay? let me bring this out again, man. I got to stress this emphasis, man. All right? Let me pull this up here again. In 1 minute. All right, so let me put it up here. It says the average empire survives for 250 years. Is America at death's door? Death's door. The answer is yes. There's no maybe, I'm not sure. Yes. America is at death's door. Okay? And the elites know it. Okay? I'm going to read this thing here by this columnist. Put this out here. And this ties right into our 400 years of slavery. Right? Labran, I want you to read this here. Yeah. Average empire survives for 250 years. Is America at death's door? All right? That's a beautiful thing. All right? So let Labran read this here. Boom.
The following is an editorial by Armstrong Williams.
Everybody, he's a coon Uncle Negro. Okay, Armstrong Williams. All right, go ahead.
Studies show that an empire survives on average a mere 250 years.
Studies. Now he got that from another author that wrote the studies and how empires rule and how long they last. Go ahead.
Did you know that?
Did you know that? Because most people don't know that. Okay, go ahead.
To put that in context, the world's oldest person recently died at 124 years old. So she lived nearly half as long as most empires do. Most Americans are unaware of this small but crucial statistic.
See, most Americans are ignorant to this because they don't learn nothing in school. They learn nonsense. Go ahead.
Which may suggest much about our country's future. It is past time for Americans to confront the painful reality that our time as a world superpower may be limited, and it is time to explore how to slow down what, frankly, is an inevitability at some point.
You can't slow that down. No matter what you do, you can't slow it down. It's going to happen. Go ahead.
That the United States' global domination will not persist indefinitely.
See, he says its global domination will not exist forever. And the United States does have global domination.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Well, you got to get bigger for your read, right?
This may be difficult to grasp and accept.
See, this might be difficult to be grasped and understand by a lot of American people. Well, why are you saying this? That's not true. They're going to try to deny the fact. Go ahead.
But it has never been true for any civilization in the past.
See, it has never been true for any civilization in the past to rule forever. Go ahead.
And it will never be true for any society in the future. As we consider historical empires, it is worth noting that the vast majority of Americans do not regard the United States as an empire in the classical sense, despite the fact that many people throughout the world do. However, for the purpose of this column, the United States, although being modern in every meaning of the word, does indeed qualify as an empire.
It is an empire. It is an empire. Okay, go ahead.
Since World War II, the United States have been primarily concerned with spreading democracy and freedom across the world, seeing itself as a sort of global liberator. In reality, the U.S. maintains over 800 military outposts and special operation groups spread around the globe.
See, 800. That's a superpower. That's an empire. All right, go ahead.
This is a critical consideration in determining where the United States belongs in the pantheon of former empires. Since, like those before it, it has been primarily interested in extending influence and power. This is not something that I mean as a criticism, but rather as a contextual point.
See, he said this is a contextual point. This is a very important thing that most Americans have to consider and look into, because it's going to happen. And we're seeing it now, right before our eyes. Go ahead.
However, it is this outreach in the pursuit of criticism, but rather as a contextual point. However, it is this overreach in the pursuit of continuous power and influence that frequently leads to empires withering, albeit slowly.
Right, and America is withering slowly. They're going to spread themselves thin, okay? Because they have to finance Ukraine, give weapons to Ukraine, give money to Ukraine, give weapons to Israel, give money to Israel. They're going to have to watch over Taiwan, give money to Taiwan, give weapons, and they're going to spread themselves thin. All right? Yes.
And this is exactly how the ancient Roman Empire fell. They spreaded themselves too thin.
Yeah.
And didn't have their own front. Their own front covered.
All right? And guess what? Like the scripture said, all of America's enemies is right here.
That's right.
All the enemies are right here, waiting for the opportune time.
Waiting for a spot.
Waiting for that time. Okay? So they're in for a very rude awakening, man. There's more to it, Abraham, and that was
a lot more.
Okay, that was it. That's good on that.
Well, let me just read this last one. In 2026, the United States of America, founded in 1776, will celebrate its 250th anniversary. We're rapidly nearing the 250th anniversary.
You're damn right you are.
Of the fall of most previous civilizations.
See that?
I'll leave it there.
That's it. You hear that?
Yeah.
So we're rapidly approaching the fall of most civilization, okay? And that 250-year mark. And when you go back, the 18th dynasty of Egypt ruled for 255 years.
Right.
And then it collapsed. It came to an end. So everything is right on time, man. It's right on time. 400 years. And the Most High said after that 400 years, he's going to judge the nations.
That's right.
Okay? That punish us. Man.
That's right.
Okay? So everything is good. So let's go to the book of Joel. Okay? So everything is building up to that climax. All right? Everything is building up to that. All right? And in the process of this too, the Most High is going to ransom a lot of nations for us. The Most High is going to sacrifice and kill a lot of nations for us, man. You understand? But hold that first. Go to Isaiah 43 and 1. Isaiah 43 and 1. Isaiah 43 and 1, and start from the first verse.
So we're reading out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 1. But now thus said the Most High that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by my name, thou art mine.
So the Most High said, fear not. The Most High said, he got our back, he has us. We just got to stand in what he wants us to do. Stand in his program. Go ahead.
Verse 2, when thou pass through the waters, I will be with thee.
So the Most High said, when you pass through the waters, I'm going to be there with you. Go ahead.
And through the rivers.
And through the rivers. Go ahead.
They shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burnt. Neither shall the flame kindle upon thee.
Check that out. Most High got us. He's protecting us. Continue.
For I am the Most High thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thou Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom.
So the Most High said, I gave Egypt for your ransom. I ransomed Egypt for you. I sacrificed and destroyed Egypt just for you. But he did to Egypt what you think he's going to do to this place called America. He's going to burn this baby, burn it to the ground. Okay, go ahead.
Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life.
So the Most High said, you're going to give people for our life. He's going to sacrifice nations for us. And that's what he's going to do when he drag all these nations up there in the valley of Jehoshaphat. And I'm going to say it, man, a lot of our people is in those military, man.
Yeah.
I know they're probably thinking now, oh my gosh, are they going to drag me up there too? Yes.
Yes.
If you're in the military up there, you got family, man, you got to make sure, get it right with the Most High, man, because you're going to be dragged into that war up there, man. Okay? I know some of those up here over there in Israel too. They might drag their behind to fight in the Israeli military too. All right? Yeah. In Demona, yeah. Yeah, so far they was all right. They was, you know what I mean? But ain't too far from where they are neither. You know what I mean? Because they're in Demona in the southern part, and the Gaza Strip is on the southern part, but more on the western part. But you could still hear them bombs and stuff going off. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Israel, now Israel is going to secure their nuclear plants. And they're about, maybe about, I'll say about, around the area, maybe about 10 miles away from it or more. So, you know, the Israeli going to protect that, because they don't want Hamas, somebody going across trying to disrupt that. So that's like a red alert now. That's a DEFCON 5, DEFCON 4, all right? But so you know the Israeli government going to say, hey, you here? You got to fight for us too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're citizens, that some of them were in the Israeli military too.
Pull them out.
Yeah. Yep. So, but anybody that's in Esau's military now, you might be dragged up to that situation, especially if you're in the Navy. You're out there in those ships, all right? But you secure because you got the firepower. But eventually, you're going to fight when the real fight comes on with the Most High to judge the nations. Right. You're not going to come out and say, well, I'm retiring. No, no, you're not retiring. You're in there for the duration of this battle. All right? So the Most High says he's going to sacrifice man's life for us. And a lot of people is going to be sacrificed in this war. But right now, as we speak now, the Gaza Strip is being leveled, man. It's being leveled. That place is total destruction and rubble, man. You know? Yeah. The nuclear plant? I don't know. That's why I say probably about 10 miles. Yeah. That meter stuff is like, I hear about it, but it's foreign to me. Yeah. But I think just in a wild guess, right? Meter would be probably about 1.5 miles or 2 miles in equivalent. Yeah. You know? But I would say Dimona and the nuclear plant is probably maybe about I said within maybe between 10 to about 30 miles difference. You know? Yeah. Yeah, you could hear it. Yeah. But the Hamas is over. They're in the southern part, but more to the western part. They're more on the coast of the sea area. You know? Yeah. Oh, and they leveling that whole place, man. That place is rubbles, man. But the good thing that Hamas did, they built tunnels. So that gave them a leverage, or some kind of leverage. You know? Only thing that could hit that is bunker buster missiles. You know? So with all the bombing, they're still down in the tunnel. Right? They made it from concrete. What Hamas did, man, they concrete and made those tunnels. They were doing that for years, man. They've been working on those tunnels. And they say some intricate tunnels too, man. They store weapons and everything in there, man. You could hide out. You could even live in there too, the way they did it, man. Yeah, so they said in order for the Israeli military to go in there, they're going to have to fight a real nasty, bloody guerrilla warfare.
That's like guerrilla, yeah, guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Because the tanks can't go in there. You have to go in there man to man.
Man to man.
Then the hostages, how are you going to get the hostages? Right. You have to go in and search house to house, tunnel to tunnel to find those hostages. You know? Yeah.
This morning I was listening to the news on the go. Apparently, sound as if they're not worrying about casualties.
Yeah.
They're going to sacrifice. That's a sacrifice. That's the sacrifice to give them the green light to escalate the war. Yeah.
That's what Israel does.
Yeah.
I mean, the fake Israel, they'll blow up a whole bus to get one person.
Yeah.
So they don't care about that.
Yeah. Because the motto of the Mossad is, by deception, thou shalt make your war. So everything about them is by using deception. You understand? And that's their motto. By deception, make your wars. That's how you make your wars. You understand? Yeah, Judah. Tunnel racks, yeah. So it's going to be bloody, man. Because Hamas, what does Hamas have to lose?
Nothing.
They're suffering. They can't do nothing. They don't have no human rights. So you may as well die for something. Die and fight for something. Right. Yeah, right? So they're going to fight till the end, no matter what. Because even if it's over, they're still going to catch hell from Israel. Israel will put more hell on them now. And I said, they're going to starve them out. They're going to cut off water, everything from them. So you may as well die for something. God can die. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to go all out. And the more of that bloodshed, the more of the Arab world is going to say, nah, this can't go down. Understand? So their first intent is to hit Hezbollah. Right? Hezbollah and Syria. All right? Because Hezbollah is up close to Syria.
Well, Syria already declared war yesterday.
You know?
Syria declared war on Israel.
And you know, Iran supports Syria, Hezbollah, you know? And what they're trying to do, they're trying to pinpoint it that Iran was directly involved with Hamas to give them a justification. But the United States haven't pinpointedly said Iran was involved. You understand? So Israel is careful not to say that too, because if they say that, Americans said, wait a minute, we didn't say you could say that now. You're going to put us in trouble now. Because once you say those key words, those are war words.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Deception.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's gonna be bloody, man. It's bloody, man. I could already see now probably about 10,000 Palestinians probably died already, and they keeping it quiet, hush. They're not gonna tell you, but they're being slaughtered now, man, because they said that area of the Gaza Strip is one of the most populated areas in the world. 2 million people in that area, and it says only an area maybe about 20 square miles, about the size of Manhattan.
Right. Size
yeah.
of Manhattan.
Then, a lot of them, if that propaganda stated earlier, right? But now, you know what's coming from the other side. They don't have no.
Right. The information. Yeah, they control that information, and they put out their disinformation. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's why the power of the media is very important to control the media, man. Powerful. Right? Very powerful, man. You know? Yep. I wanted to read something else too in this book here too. It was on page 99. LeBron, read this here for me. The Proved by Deception, page 99. Read from the top, read the whole thing. Yeah, real quick.
Read out of the book of Diplomacy by Deception, an account of the treasonous conduct by the governments of Britain and the United States by Dr. John Coleman. Israel in Focus, Chapter 5. Perhaps more than any other country in the Middle East, with the exception of what is now called Saudi Arabia, diplomacy by deception was seen at its height during the formative years of the State of Israel.
It's all deception, pure deception, okay? Lies, fooling the people, okay? Manipulation,
right.
All right? Go ahead.
As I have done throughout this book, I have made every effort to be absolutely objective in dealing with the background to the formation of Israel. Given the propensity of the majority to regard almost anything said about the country as anti-Semitic, the account of how the State of Israel came into being does not take religious matters into consideration.
Right, it's not about religion. It's all about economics and politics. It has nothing to do with religion. That's what they use. It's about economics and politics. Remember, Trump said he's going to take Jerusalem, the embassy, and move it. It's all political moves. It's not about religion. That's what they want you to believe. Go ahead.
But it's based purely and simply on political, geographical, geopolitical.
See those words? Politics, okay, economics, and geopolitical, to keep Israel strong by the backing of the United States of America. Okay, go ahead.
And economic factors.
And economic factors. Okay, now Israel is going to need oil to keep that war going. You're going to need oil for the planes. Planes use a lot of fuel. The tanks, the trucks, the jeeps, all right? A lot of things use oil. Where is that oil going to come from? Where are they getting the oil from? From Saudi Arabia. After a while, Saudi Arabia going to say, nope, can't do. So what's going to happen now? America has to get oil. You understand? America has to get oil. Because America can't just continue using all this strategic oil here. They have to get that foreign oil too. Because what America is using now is what? Domestic oil. the oil that's here that they have stored up. When that run out, then you have to start using your strategic oil. All right, go ahead. OPEC is run by the Arab families, but over all of that is ran by the Rockefellers and the Illuminati.
Right.
The Committee of 300, the big oil companies, Amoco, BP, Sunoco. All these big oil companies are the ones that's really calling the shots and run things over there. The Arabs are just the landlords over it. You understand? Because they're the one that, it was the British that allowed them to be set up to get the oil running.
Right.
Then the Rockefellers came in. It's a big, boy, this European powers got, their outreach is everywhere in the earth, man. When the Most High said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, you better believe it, man. They control every aspect of this earth, man.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, some is Edomites, some are Arabs too. But the top ruling families over there are Esau, a bunch of Edomites. Yeah. A lot of true Arabs are pushed back, catching hell and poverty.
Right.
Okay? Okay, go ahead.
It is difficult to arrive at a starting point when dealing with the history of any country. But after almost 15 years of research, I have pinned down October 31st, 1914 as the beginning of the events that led to the founding of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
The history of one country cannot be separated from that of its neighbors, and this applies especially when it comes to an historical account of Israel. Lord Horatio Kitchener, fresh from his success in putting an end to the sovereign independence of Boer Republic, South Africa, was turned loose on the Middle East by the Committee of 300.
See, by the Committee of 300. All war generals, captains, get their orders from the top ruling Illuminati families. The war in Vietnam, that was commissioned by the Illuminati. All wars are set up by them and filtered down through Congress and the presidents. And the president is just the what? The manager of the whole thing. He's a puppet manager to control it. Go ahead.
Acting through the British Foreign Office. The British government has been scheming and plotting against the Turkish Ottoman Empire since 1899.
See, way back then, to take down the Ottoman Turkish Empire, because the Ottoman Turkish Empire was controlling what you call all of the so-called Middle East, the Arab countries, Arabia, Iraq, Jordan, Egypt. The Ottoman Empire had all those nations under their control at one point. Okay? And when the British went to war and went into the Middle East, the British agenda was to take down the Ottoman Turkish Empire and allow the so-called Jews to come through the back door. But they had to make a deal with the Arabs, through the Arab, the Wahhabi families and the Aziz family. So the British they fund and gave weapons to the Arab families to fight off the Ottoman Turkish Empire. It wasn't the British that fought against the Ottoman Turkish Empire. It was the Arabs that fought against the Ottoman Turkish Empire. So the British gave them weapons, guns, everything, trained them. It was the British that helped the Arabs to become an establishment in that area. Okay, under Lawrence of Arabia. Mm-hmm. When you get a chance, go look at that movie called Lawrence of Arabia.
Right.
It's a good movie. It's long, but it's good, and it shows you how the Arabs got established in that era, how they was able to become sheiks, chieftains, and to control the oil. All right, go ahead.
And by 1914, was ready to make its final move to bring down the 400-year-old dynasty. The Committee of 300 plan was to involve Arabs through false promises.
See, through false promises, deception. That's what the British famous for that. And the British was the one that helped form the Mossad along with the CIA. Okay? British intelligence is one of the oldest intelligence that's been around for the longest. And they helped to form the Mossad and the CIA. All right, go ahead.
And use Arabian forces to do Britain's dirty work.
See, they used the Arab to do Britain's dirty work. Go ahead.
As we saw in the chapter which showed how Colonel Thomas Lawrence was used for this purpose.
Yeah, they used him for that. Befriend the Arabs, and then eventually they allow the so-called Jews to come through the back door. But he was part of it too. But he had no idea of it, what he was doing. Because he was part of the MI6 program too. Because remember, they don't tell every individual what their agenda is.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
The first step in this direction was a meeting between Hussein, the Grand Sharif of Mecca, bastion of the Hashemites, and Lord Kitchener. Hussein was offered a guarantee of independence for his assistance against the Turks.
All right, so that's it on that. That's good.
Okay.
Anybody else want to know? Go watch that movie called Lawrence of Arabia. It's a real good movie. It depicts and shows you what really happened during that time period with the Arabs. Yes. Yes, it's a real. It's not fictional. He was a British soldier,
Colonel Lawrence.
Colonel Lawrence Thomas,
Right.
that actually befriended the Arabs during that time period. And he was used to get the love and the admiration of the Arabs, that he eventually fought with the Arabs. All right, the Arabs were able to they love him. He funded them with guns, weapons, training to eventually take down the Ottoman Turkish Empire. And in that, he was able to set up the different kingdoms in Arabia under the different sheiks and rulers in Arabia. Then the Rockefellers came in and it's Arabia. And eventually Iran said, get the hell out of our country. Iran said, get the hell out, man. Okay? The Ayatollah, it had Mossadegh was in there. Okay? And it was the CIA that overran his country. And they said, you got to go. Get the hell out. And that's why from this day, they got it in for Iran. Because Iran said, you're not going to come in our country and run our oil business. And that's why today they put blockades and Iran assets from selling oil. Yeah.
That's why
Saddam Hussein. Yeah, because he was saying, we're not going to allow you come in and take over our oil. You understand? Even Saddam Hussein was their boy. He was down with them too. He was their boy. He was doing the bidding for America and the British. Because remember, he had an 8-year war against Iran. He was fighting against Iran. And America and Britain and the French government was supporting him and backing him and giving him money, weapons, and everything to keep them at odds. It was to weaken Iran, so Iran wouldn't be a superpower in Israel to be a threat to Israel. You understand? But now Iran said, nope, Iran's like a superpower now. So they said, we have to get rid of Iran. And that's the goal. That's the strategy now. To eventually wage a war against Iran. To keep Israel strong and to keep America strong. To continue the geopolitical and resources of the earth. It's all well planned out, man. Yes.
That's why they don't fire nukes.
Nukes, right. They don't want to have nukes because if they have nukes, they could counteract Israel. Change the whole ball game. They could nuke Israel anytime.
That's right.
You understand? And that's what they don't want. And Israel is pushing the buttons to America. No, get rid of Iran. Get rid of Iran. Because if Israel does it, what's going to happen? The whole Arab world is going to join force in retaliation. Right? So they have to plan out a strategy in how to do it.
Deception.
Deception. Deception. The great scheme of deception, man. A false flag.
The first thing that Biden also wanted anybody.
Yeah, don't get involved. Don't get involved.
Which was really going against talking about
Iran. Yeah. How are you going to tell them they can't get involved, but you already got your battleship there? That shows you the arrogancy of these devils, man. They're arrogant, man. You're going to tell somebody else, which is their homeland, their base, they can't get involved. You killing their brothers and their sisters. They can't get involved, but you could be there to do what you want to do.
Right.
That's why the Most High is going to have a field day with these devils,
So
man.
bully.
Okay? Let's go to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. Most High is going to have a field day with these devils, man. Arrogant, man. Some arrogant bastards, man. But before we go to Zechariah, the 12th chapter. Zechariah 12. Zechariah 12 and start from the first verse.
Okay, come on. Read now the book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Most High for Israel, saith the Most High, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him.
That's right. It's the Most High that forms the spirit of man within him. Okay, go ahead.
Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about.
Stop right there. So that's what's happening. From that day of 1948, Jerusalem has been a cup of trembling unto all the people round about. It's been nothing but trembling, man. Okay? Never will be no peace in that land.
Right.
Go ahead.
When they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people.
All right, so this part here, the second verse, that happened already.
Right.
That happened from 70 AD. But now this part here in the third verse, this is happening now.
Right.
Okay? Because prophecies jump, boom, back, past, present, future. Prophecies just don't read straight down the line. Prophecies move according to the spirit of the Most High, how he puts it in the prophet. He could write one thing, and it's referring for over 200 years ago. And he could write something and could be referring to the future. Then he could write something again and it could be referring to right this present moment. That's how the spirit of prophecy works. So now in this third verse here now, read the third verse.
And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people.
And here's a burdensome stone right now for all people. No matter what they do.
Right.
When Carter tried to go in there and make peace, it didn't work. When Clinton tried to do it, it didn't work. When Obama, he tried to, nothing worked. Because they're not the people of, how are you gonna make peace with the people that's not the people of the land?
But even the mere fact that they in there now, they can't hold it.
They can't hold it. It's too much problems to them.
Right. It's gonna be too
They're
much.
probably saying, damn, how can we get rid of this problem? You understand? Go ahead.
All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. Though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it.
All right. Now from there, let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right. And this is the good part. This is the part that is coming up to now. All right. And they're going to be dragging to this thing, man. I'm so glad, man. But remember, too, the devil is so clever. He uses distraction to accomplish a lot of things. So while everybody is distracted watching what's going on over there, he's going to be doing things over here right under your noses too. So you have to watch everything that he's doing because that's a good distraction too.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a good distraction to keep you watching what's going on there and what he's doing here to undermine and destroy us. Right? So he's very clever. Remember, that's the art of war, is to use deception.
And
okay?
every show you see, I don't care if it's a night show, talk show, everybody they talking
the
about
same
Israel,
thing, talking the same thing, the same propaganda.
Same propaganda.
And then notice, if you're a host, let's say you go on a show as a host, right? The first thing that I always ask you, whenever you speak about Israel, they're gonna ask you, but what about Hamas? Don't you think what Hamas did was barbaric? Yeah. They want your insight so you can condemn Hamas,
right.
but don't condemn Israel.
Right.
There are even those that will be pro against Israel, like the Weon, this group from India, the woman that does it, Palma. She does a lot of shows about Israel and America and what's going on. So the guy was in the show speaking about the barbarity of what Israel and the Mossad been doing, and she's like trying to grill him. But what about what Hamas did? Hamas killed babies. He killed this. The guy said, wait a minute. This been going on for us way before this happened. He said, you want me to say what Hamas did was wrong? But what about what Israel been doing for all these ages and years? Nobody speaks on that. So everybody speaks on that. Oh, but what Hamas did? They want you to condemn what Hamas did.
Right.
But don't want you to condemn Israel for what they're doing. So it's all the same marching, talking points, same ideas, same philosophy, same direct propaganda. You understand? It's all the same thing. Every last one. I don't care if you're alternative media or you against what America is doing. When it comes to that, you can't speak against the so-called imposter, fake synagogue of Satan Jew. You can't speak against them. Okay? So let's go to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter.
What you want, man?
Start from the top.
Reading out of Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when thou shalt bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
See, now this was written thousands of years ago, but now it's relevant today because we're in that time now. We're in that time when the Most High is going to bring the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Never in the history before did the Most High bring about the captivity of both Judah and Jerusalem.
At the same time, right.
At the same time. Not even the Babylonian rulership, not even in the time of the Romans, the Greeks, the Assyrians, or the Persians. So this prophecy is for today, the latter days that we're living in, right? And the Most High is going to bring our captivity. And that's what this war is about, to bring us out of captivity. Go ahead.
Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage.
See, the Most High said, and I will also gather all nations, all, every last one. Okay? I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the valley of judgment. Okay? Named after the king of Israel. And that area is around the whole area of Israel and the Euphrates River area. And that's why the Euphrates River is being dried up.
That's right.
For that particular reason. The Most High has it well calculated down to the time, the minute, the seconds, and it's falling right in line, showing you the Most High prophecies are accurate.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage.
So the Most High said he's going to plead with them there. Plead means he's going to judge them. He ain't going to talk to them. All right? He's going to bust them up, man. Okay, go ahead.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
And they scattered us amongst the nation. I'm going to say this here too. When we were scattered in slavery, the transatlantic slavery, that was a world war against us too. That was World War III too. That was a war against us. Slavery was a war against us. All right? So World War III started when they enslaved us and brought us here as slaves and scattered us all toward the face of the earth. Okay? Go ahead.
And parted my land.
And that's what they did. They parted the Most High land. These imposters, along with America and Britain, that's why they're going to drink of this cup, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot.
Which they did in slavery. Go ahead.
And sold a girl for wine.
And that's what they did in slavery. Slavery was based on that. Wine, cocoa, coffee, everything you would think of. All right, go ahead.
That they may drink.
And they might drink, and they drink and enjoy themselves and were merry. Continue.
Verse 4, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Okay, now Tyre and Zidon were who? Who was Tyre and Zidon at that particular time?
It's Ham.
They were Africans, the children of Ham, okay, that was living in the land. So the Most High said, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? All right, go ahead.
And all the coast of Palestine.
And all the coast of Palestine were the Philistines, not these modern day Palestinians. But even though they have something to do with it too, all right, continue.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Ain't no matter, nothing they could do. I don't care what they try to offer the Most High, plea bargain. Well, this is what we'll do. The Most High said, I'm still going to recompense upon your own head. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
And that's what they robbed us. When we fell, we was robbed of everything. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Point blank, that's who we were sold to, the Grecians, white people. The beginning of the white man's empire, the Greeks. Go ahead.
That ye might remove them far from their border.
And we will remove far from our border, which is Jerusalem, Israel. Go ahead.
Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them.
Now it's coming up to today now. The Most High said, behold, I will raise them up out of the place whither ye have sold them. Where were we sold? The Caribbeans, the Americans, South America. We were scattered and sold all over the face of the earth, man. Okay, go ahead.
And will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah.
Check that out. The Most High said, I'm going to sell them back. I'm going to sell them to the children of Judah, and we're going to sell them. All right, go ahead.
And they shall sell them to the Sabians.
And we're going to sell them to the Sabians. Okay, and when you look up Sabia, Sabia was an area in the land of Yemen. Okay, you had Ethiopians in that area too. Okay, but Sabia is over there by Yemen, where Yemen is located. You got Arabs over there too. Some of the real Arabs live over there too, in Yemen. Okay, that's why you had that war over there. They were being killed over there. Some of the real Arabs live over there too, in that area. All right, go ahead.
To a people far off, for the Most High has spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
That's what we have to proclaim. We have to proclaim this. Proclaim ye this to the Gentiles. Go ahead.
Prepare war.
The Most High said, prepare for war. Ain't no peace coming. Forget about your peace. Ain't no peace coming. Prepare for war. Go ahead.
Wake up the mighty men.
The Most High said, wake up the mighty men. Go ahead.
Let all the men of war draw near.
Let all the men of war draw near. Go ahead.
Let them come up.
Let them come up. Get ready. Go ahead.
Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords.
Man, take your farming tools and make weapons with it, man. Make some good weapons. Okay? Make some Kalusha missiles. Make some Aqsa missiles. Okay? Make that missile that Iran has. It's called something of peace. they call it something of peace.
But don't China have something, the mother of all bombs, Moab?
No, I think that's
Russia? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they use it in Afghanistan too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mother of all bombs.
Go ahead.
Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
And the weak represents the other nations. Okay? The other nations that are not European backed nations. What they call third world nations.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither.
Iran, destroy Iran, destroy Iran, and all the enemies are surrounding them. But little that they know, they're the one that's going to be destroyed also too. Okay, go ahead.
For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
Yeah, it's ripe. It's time to pluck that harvest. That mangoes are ripe. Those cherries are ripe. Those grapes are ripe. Okay, all those fruits are ripe. It's time to pick it. It's that time, man. Go ahead.
Come, get you down, for the press is full.
The press is full. It's flowing over with wine. Okay, it's full. Go ahead.
The fats overflow. For their wickedness is great.
For their wickedness is great. Nothing but wickedness that's happening in the earth. Go ahead.
Verse 14. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Most High is near in the valley of decision.
And it's near. It's near. That's what they're approaching to now. All right, go ahead.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Most High also shall roar out of Zion. and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Most High will be the hope of his people.
All right. So go to Zechariah, the 14th chapter. All right? Because nuclear weapons are going to be used in this war. It's going to be used. And I think when they attack Lebanon, they're going to try to wipe out Hezbollah completely. And the only way they could do that, they're going to have to use nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Okay? And in the book of Zechariah, the Most High tells you a man's flesh is going to be consumed off of him while he's standing, man.
Yeah.
Your eyeballs are going to melt in your head, man. Okay? That's nuclear war.
Yeah.
Okay? That's only nuclear war. The only thing that could do that is nuclear war. All right? So let's go to the book of Zechariah, the 14th chapter. Let's start from the first verse.
Read now the book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, and thy spoils shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and our houses rifled, and the women ravaged, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
And ain't that what happened when Hamas came in there? That partially what happened. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives.
Who's going to be standing upon the Mount of Olives?
Yahweh
Shai. All right. That's going to visibly be seen in that day when he makes his return in that era, because the nations are going to be fighting like hell amongst themselves. And then Yahweh Shai is going to appear. He's going to crush them in that era. All right? So read that verse again.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives.
So I mean he's going to stand upon the Mount of Olives. All right? Go ahead.
Which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west.
So what's going to cause that? The destruction. When he says it's going to cleave, means it's going to crumble.
Correct.
It's going to crush.
Come together.
Yeah. Okay? Because it's got the bombs and those missiles, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove towards the north.
See? So the mountain is going to move. It's going to fall. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to move towards the north. So those missiles going to rock that area, man. Okay, go ahead.
And half of it towards the south.
And half of it towards the south. Okay, go ahead.
And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee, like as you fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Most High, my power, shall come, and all the saints with thee.
So in this battle that's going to ensue over there, Yahweh Shai is going to return with the saints too. Okay? Continue.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Most High, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light.
Right. So eventually, it's going to be dark, but it's going to be lit up when Yahweh shall roll up on the scene. His presence with the angels is going to light up that area. Okay? Go ahead.
And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem.
Right. So after the destruction, that living waters is going to be the natural pure waters after this war and destruction. Go ahead.
Half of them towards the former sea, and half of them towards the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be. And the Most High shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one power, and his name one.
So this is after all the wars, when the nations are crushed. So you see how the prophet is jumping back? Future, past. present. He's going in and out. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 10. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon.
So he's showing you now, after the war, all the land's going to be turned back into beautiful land. But in the beginning, he was showing you destruction and what's going to happen. Right? Then he's going to jump back again to the destruction again, showing you. All right? Go ahead.
All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem. And it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place, from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananel unto the king's winepress. The men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction.
See? So this is after. So he says, and men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction. Go ahead.
But Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited.
See? And Jerusalem is not safely inhabited now. Okay, go ahead.
And this shall be the plague wherein the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
So now he's going back to show you the destruction of what's going to take place in the destruction. All right, go ahead.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
Nuclear destruction. Okay, go ahead.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
Their eyes is just going to melt in their socket. Okay, while they stand up and looking, it's going to melt. Go ahead.
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Their tongue is going to melt in your mouth. Okay, from that heat and that radiation. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them. And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
See, now it's going back and forth. Now it's showing you the land is going to be cleansed. It's going to be peace. But now it's showing you now the war. So it's going back and forth. Future, present, past. All right, go ahead.
And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem.
Now, where does Judah come into this to fight now? You see, he's showing you here now. It's jumping to something else now. When is Judah going to fight at Jerusalem? When are we going to fight at Jerusalem? After Yahushua laid down the nations. Yeah, we're going back to fight when we go back there. But the Most High God destroyed the nations' armory, weapons, and everything that they have. All right? It said, then Judah shall fight at Jerusalem. All right? Go ahead.
And the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together.
And you're going to take their wealth. You're going to take it from them. You're going to say, lay down or die. All right? Go ahead.
Gold and silver